What is this?
Welcome to another episode of 37 Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I am so excited to have on 38 to 43-year-olds from Edmonton, Coaldale, Bassano, and Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. Their hockey journey took them, or has taken them, to Canada, the USA, Switzerland, Austria, Finland, Croatia, Sweden, Denmark, Scotland, and they are Deutsche Meisters in Germany, like yours truly. One is a fifth rounder of the Buffalo Sabres, a legend with the Calgary Hitmen, where he had 30 playoff points in 21 games played as a D-man. A Canadian Hockey League Sportsman of the Year, folks. Played for Canada in the World Juniors, won the Spangler Cup with Canada, the Allen Cup as well, and the German Pokal. But who cares about that one, really? The next ran amok with the Chilliwack Chiefs, and then the Michigan State Spartans, where he was a two-time CCHA champion. Mucked around for years with the Chicago Wolves, almost won it looks like, became the most penalized player in Switzerland and Germany, still while running amok, and is now the GM and head coach of those Chilliwack Chiefs. The next, a staple and legend with the Medicine Hat Tigers, then ripped up the CIS with the University of Alberta, where he had 151 points and 123 games played, en route to the most outstanding freshman award, and then the University Cup MVP, and then had his way with the Zweite Bundesliga of Germany for years, actually. The last returns after episode 70, has had over 500 goals, plays, or listens, because he led the East Coast in scoring, the Central Hockey League in scoring, the Zweite Bundesliga in scoring, and the Danish League in scoring. Also won the East Coast, the Central Hockey League, but not Denmark, because I owned his ass that time. But they are all Deutsche Meisters with the Ravensburg Tower Stars. Welcome to the shed, Ryan Maloney, Matt Kinch, Ben Thomson, and Alex Leavitt.
Hey, awesome.
Good gosh, that was a long one. I'm never doing it that long
You Holy Levy, 500? Good gravy, man.
Yeah.
500 kills? What? Oh, no, sorry. What are we talking about?
Hey, I get into how we know each other. I had Mr. Leavitt here on episode 70, and then, I wanted to get the German crowd going. I said, hey, who do you want to reconnect with from our Germany days? And well, he said, you assholes.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just thinking, we all played on a bunch of teams over there and stuff, but I feel like the championship team that I played with over there, that just kind of has a special kind of connection, right? So
winning is fun. And
it does.
You like those guys more at the end of the day because you won at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I said to Wally, we got to get Kincher, Maloney, Benny. I don't know if Fred Cabana's alive. He's here in spirit, I guess, maybe, but
where's the bod? We need the bod.
Yeah.
Who's the bod?
Oh my word, Wally. This guy was incredible. Kerry Ellis Toddington. He was the bod, man.
Good body or not?
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, I was the first guy to be 24 and already have the full dad bod going. So I've had this for
years. Great. Wally, I'm just going to say, I know you had some whoppers in Beatingham, but this was the greatest lineup in the Boondie ever.
This lineup, you think is the greatest
right
PP ever? Who's the other guy on your PP?
Done.
Okay, hold on.
Number
Leavitt's
12 on
the
half wall.
You're on the goal line. You got Kinch up top.
Didn't matter.
Maloney's in front, mucking it up. Who's back door?
We didn't even have a fifth guy. We just dressed four. We didn't even put anybody over there. A fifth. We didn't even use that guy.
We told this young German kid, hey, just kind of leak back door, go back post, and stand there.
It wasn't that punk Slavatinsky.
Yeah, I think Slav was on there.
Oh no, we booted him to the second line.
Actually, I get into how we know each other. What am I gonna call you? Maloney? Malones? What am I calling you? Big dog?
Big dog.
So big dog. We'll talk about poster pictures. You sent the one of you punching my good friend Corey Mapes in the face. He was like 18 years old in that game, dude.
Yeah, I don't care. These guys know if you could be 38 or 18, I don't care. When I put my game on, it's lights out.
I understand. It's pro hockey and you're out there. But was that when that punk Slavatinsky cross-checked the guy in the face and then a melee broke out?
Yeah, it was.
I actually felt bad. I've never had to stick up for someone on the ice, but a little different off the ice with the guy. But yeah, I don't know what happened. I mean, I know it started. Slav did something dirty, and
It was dirty. He cross-checked a guy in the
poor
face.
young Mapes. Yeah, right in front of your guys' bench there. I remember that. So
yeah. I wasn't playing that game. I heard all about it though. It was wild.
We had a few melees that season. We had a few on the ice. We had a few off the ice. You know, it was a full season of melees that year.
You guys had melees off the ice and won the championship? That's exciting.
Well, not we were fighting other people. We weren't fighting each other. We were
That's
fighting,
good. Okay.
We were fighting
That's better.
fans from other teams. You know, we were fighting everybody in the whole fucking country of Germany, basically.
the cops, remember? The cops could follow us down to Ravensburg and come to my
That's all right. It's
Good. Nice.
Can I hear this tale then? Like, what happened here?
Where was that? Where was that in?
Oh,
Well, there was
You fought
another one.
fans?
Well, there
Some
was the
shitty-
Schwinnigan. That was a dust up. And
Yeah,
I
but
think didn't they like bum rush our bench? Like
Oh,
it was
what
bad.
was the shitty barn up north? The team that was way up north.
White
Weisswasser, beautiful
Weisswasser.
whitewater.
Oh,
Might have been there.
It was.
Might have been.
This is what happened. I might have gave a young German a little knuckle sandwich of that game, and then remember the fans were starting to get at me in the penalty box,
Oh yeah.
and then Levy's trying to hop over the glass,
Yeah.
and then so we had to walk through the fans and walk up these stairs to get to our locker room.
No security, like nothing, like not even like one usher, just right through like fucking 80 people.
Yeah, I
just
know.
Rauken and Schweinbraten.
Yeah.
And a little glue vine.
Lots of fire Ganzabole.
I know. This fan tried to like chirp me or whatever, so I turned around. I checked his oil with my stick.
Oh, that's right. You nut tapped that. You tapped that guy right in the nuts, but it wasn't like hard. It was like playful. It was like, hey, we just
You gave him just a little tickle at the end of the stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
That's right. That's
so,
right.
like, I turn around and start walking up the stairs, and this fan rips my stick out of the hand and then turns around and tries to bat me over the head with it. Levy blocks it and tackles the fan, starts pounding. And then all of a sudden we're trying, this is the end of the game. All of a sudden the cops are there trying to sprechen Sie Deutsch to us, and all we want to do is get the hell out of there.
I did like, I mean, if you remember like the highlights of like the Bruins like fighting guys in the stands, like that's
Yeah.
what I felt like.
Mike Milbury.
Yeah,
Hey, but
Mike
that's when
Milbury,
teams
guys.
become teams, right? You guys
Yeah.
really bonded, probably beating up
Yeah.
fans.
I think I remember one of you guys had your skates on and running on like the actual cement. You guys remember that?
Yeah, we were in
I
the
think that might have been Levy.
And
I think that
Kinch,
was you,
welcome
Levy.
to the party. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah,
Welcome.
I remember that. Yeah.
We
This
were
sounds
like-
nuts.
Oh yeah, it was full blown.
Go ahead, sorry, love.
No, go ahead.
I just feel like sometimes when there's a language barrier, you feel like you can get away with a lot more shit because I don't know what the hell anyone's saying, so I just ran around like a dummy and started punching people.
Well, you can. It's like when you drive down the
Well, you
road
did
you're
run
not
around like a
supposed to, right? And you're just like, oh, sorry, kind Deutsch, right? I
I
didn't
mean,
know.
hey, at the end of the day, nobody got hurt. I'm sure those fucking old German guys are telling the same story to their buddies that we're telling right now. It was all in good fun. No one got hurt. It was just a little dust up in the crowd that team bonding was the best part of it. So
And that was, you thinking
Okay.
Whitewater? That's not Whitewater's.
No,
No,
think that
'cause
was
that
in
one you come out the tunnel and you got to walk like 400
Oh, you guys, it
meters.
was in Bremerhaven.
Bremerhaven.
Bremerhaven, yeah.
Bremerhaven. That old
Bremerhaven.
shitty rink in Bremerhaven.
Where they
The
got
Oh,
the
the
new
old one.
old
Yeah.
barn. Old
The
barn.
old one.
So
Well,
you guys come out by the end of the net there then, and you're
Yeah.
saying they're back there
Yeah, they're just waiting for us right as we come off the ice, and the guy is just fucking chirping.
because it's not much of a staircase there, right? To get
No,
to-
it's kind of you kind of just like walk straight through the kind of the fans, but there was like just I told you there's not even one security
and they
guard.
were ready to rock and
ready to rock. Boys had about 18 glue vines. They fucking did not like Maloney because he beat up their whole team like he did pretty much everyone that year.
My internet
He was-
good
he
one.
was tougher than everybody else in Germany. There's no
It
doubt.
says my connection's not good.
I just tell everyone that goes over there, just play the role, act like you're an animal
I'm
the first,
frozen.
and they'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
Wow, Betty. So I get into how we know each other.
What's
This
that?
guy's really
I-
frozen. He says
you got-
he was unhooking a
Ah.
combine when we were texting. So
Yeah, Ben. Look at the shit in behind him. Like he's
Yeah,
what the hell?
Benny's got fucking PETA is going to be calling us any minute
Holy
here.
moly.
For,
he has been doing some hunting, hasn't he? Jeepers.
The brawl we had. Remember the brawl we had with help. Remember Patty Bomber?
Bomber, yeah.
I see him all the time because he scouts with Minnesota now, so he's out there looking at some of our players and stuff.
he's a great dude. I ended up playing with him again when I went back to Ravensburg. And he
He's
was
a great dude. He was my
best buddy.
neighbor
He
in
was my-
Hellbron.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was like my
You
best buddy
guys-
on the team.
Well, you guys remember the one when I think it was Maloney took out Kunackle? Remember that? He was a young guy in Landsuit too. Was that not the same thing? Someone drilled Benny from behind.
You
Maloney-
beat up another kid? Was he wearing a
Yeah.
face mask this time,
Yeah.
Maloney?
Oh, he's wearing a face mask, and I've like watched 10 years later the guy's lifting the Stanley Cup. I'm thinking
Yeah.
like,
He's Hey, fun fact, he's a Shed favorite because he got us down to meet some of the players when he's with the Penguins because of my
Oh.
ties with Landsuit. Great guy.
There we go.
I-
There we go.
I do feel a little bit bad because now I'm coaching a lot of those kids at that age. I was thinking I was like 35 years old and
Beating the wheels off them.
I played 12
the
years or
bully.
10 years in Europe. I think I was in like 11 brawls, and 7 of them were at the Ravensburg Tower Stars of the 2000s.
You know what though, Levs? You were a bit of I guess
Oh,
you could almost call it a douchebag out there. You
Well,
would flop.
I
You
started
flop.
most of these. I
You come
started
to the
most-
net and then I give you a little tap and you'd go down like you were a European soccer star.
Well, when we had the
Hey,
we had-
he'd go to the back post hard.
But-
He was pulling up at the blue line throwing sauce to you fellas.
He's coming late, Wally. That's all.
yeah, I was coming. I was the refs were holding me back. That's all it was. Yeah, Maloney was fighting 4 dudes.
Hey, I will say though, guys, I don't want to pump your tires too much, but like that was the shittiest fucking league I ever played in. But you guys are probably the best fucking guys I've ever played with. This, like, we shouldn't have been on that fucking team.
No, I know.
We were fucking around that year. It was fun though. What a blast!
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get
cool.
into that. You guys, well, I guess 3 of you came from the DL with quite the resumes, eh? Tomer was down there mucking it up with me in the second league before.
Then he was making like 125 playing in the second league. He had like 9 teams from the D. He had like Berlin offering him contracts. He's like, no, I'm gonna stay in Ravensburg for
Yeah.
8 years and
Oh,
just make
clear.
125 a year.
Then he had no fucking clue how good he was. He was just fucking doing pull-ups with his fucking fingertips. He's just going out there.
He really was good. I was a big fan. Like when Lev's
Thanks, Wally.
no, seriously, you don't have Instagram. You don't hardly
Nope.
have internet, it seems like. But when
Nope.
Lev's put you on and you said you're coming on, I put this guy ran amok and I was a big fan. That was what I posted because I was a big fan. You were like
I was a
you were
big
like
fan
a
too.
smaller, faster, skinnier version of me. You know?
There you go. You could snipe a lot better though.
Well, you can skate. Let's stop saying nice things to each other. It feels weird. How about that? Okay. So let's
Okay.
get into where and what are you doing now? Let's start with Kincher. You haven't got that involved yet.
No, I always stay on the thing. I always got to sweep it up behind these guys, making sure, picking up on the.
I know. I can tell. I can tell you were the
That's
strong
why he's a
silent
doc.
type. Didn't
That's
have
why
to
he's a-
say much.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why he's
well-
a cheddar, Wally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just in Calgary. We have a fitness facility I'm here running. I'm got 3 kids, 2 girls that are in dance. Actually, one's away right now in Chilliwack. Maloney's putting the paces to him, and so he's got a good guy to follow there. So yeah, besides that, just helping a little bit on some hockey stuff, but not much. I used to coach, obviously, going up, and that was too much with all the parents. So now I just like to help out with some one-on-one stuff here on the side when friends want some help. And
Who did you
and
say is
whatnot,
in
but,
Chilliwack?
His son.
Really? Playing for you?
Oh yeah, just molded.
How's Dill doing, Doc?
Yeah, Dylan's with the big dog. Malone's in
That's
Chilliwack.
awesome, man.
He's my
Is he gonna
friggin'
play junior?
he's my friggin' best player right now.
How old's
He's a
this?
10.
How old's this guy? What's he play? Is he a forward? D-man? What's he doing? Does he play like the old man?
he's good. He's a right winger. He's okay. He's got some smarts to him. He's got to toughen up and get a little bit stronger. But that's why I sent him out to the whack with Maloney to toughen him up a little bit. But he's got some good hockey sense behind him. I don't know, maybe
toughen him up to just fucking beat the wheels off the 17-year-old Germans. So speaking of the small hockey world, then Big Dog is when I said you were coming on, Riley Emerson says he's coaching your son.
Oh yeah, no shit. Yeah, I'm sitting out in the parking lot right now, and
yeah, we can tell.
My boys practicing right now. Yeah, and Emerson's coaching them. Fuck, I don't know what
is that by Chilliwack then or what?
Yeah, it's about 25-30 minutes down the road. So Riley's coaching a zone team out here, and my boy's on it. And so I asked him, what is he going to teach them? How are you going to develop my boy? Because it sure the fuck isn't going to be skill development. Not
Riley.
No, man, it's all good.
It's going to be a good team guy.
Riley's a great coach, actually. In all seriousness, he gets he has these boys working hard, and he's has a little bit of old school in him where he holds these kids accountable, but he gets through to all these kids and put a lot of time with them. So
I could totally see that. I played against him when he was a player coach in Edinburgh, and he didn't have much of a budget, much to work with, but he had that team bought in and would do anything for him. I could see him being like that with the kids.
Yep.
For sure.
Okay, so I guess you're in a parking lot at the Suns practice, but so then what do you do day to day? You're the head coach and GM of the Chilliwack Chiefs.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny situation. Thanks, Benny. Fuck. And it all started. I played juniors here, and before I went to the university, and so when I turned pro, I bought a house out here and kind of just stayed out here. So when I retired and came back from Deutschland, there, I kind of just fell right into it, and just been coaching. I don't even know what year. 6 years now already. So time flies. Old enough. Kinch's boy in here, that's for sure. So you know you're getting up there when you remember Dylan running around in diapers, and now we're
good night jumping around Schwarzenbach.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Benny. So you're up now. Okay, where and what are you doing now?
Oh, we're south. I don't know. How would I say? You were in the middle between Medicine and Lethbridge, right in the middle, and you go south for a very long ways.
I've never hardly been out there for anything, so I don't know anything out there.
I farm with my wife's dad, and been doing that ever since been back. And we got 3 kids. Ella's 10, Hunter's 9, and Luke's 7. Ella loves horses, and Hunter just had his first big boxing fight in the summer. It was a fight of the night. Yeah, it's pretty rad. It was pretty gnarly. There were 14 dust-ups. And he was the first one up, and it was all through. I'm going to give a shout out to Joel Bam Bam Mills Boxing Productions, and it was pretty sweet, man. It was Fight of the Lights. They had it was in a football field. There's like 2,000 people, and in the middle of the night, and it was pretty sweet. So he did that, and my little guy's 7, and he said he just wants to be a farmer. So life is grand, and my wife. Good. My wife, she started, her and her sister started a cannabis. They're licensed producers about 5 years ago. And
what's it called there? Prairie grass?
There we go.
Nice.
Prairie grass. That's the name of the girls. That's the name of the cannabis production they make.
Well, that's great. Congratulations to them.
Yes, so far so good, hopefully. But
they say there's a lot of health benefits to that stuff if you got pain and whatnot, right? After a long career.
Actually, aside from being a farmer, I'm also the product sampler when it comes to distribution.
And you know what? Before I forget to say this, because it's on my mind, is Big Dog, when you said it was the worst fucking league you ever played in. Well, that was the league I basically played in most of my career. But the thing is it was the best guys I played with. Was in Landshut, was in the Beatingheim the year we won it, and there was some great dudes in that league.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I
I'm just-
found it interesting that you assholes are all from Alberta and we're all in the same team as
See,
imports.
funny, Wally, funny story about that is, so I was there for quite a while, and we came up from the third league, and we got in the second, we started being competitive, and they asked me in the season, Ben, we want to be Meisters. What's it going to take? And I said, just got to get Alberta boys.
Oh, love it.
Done
Oh, I
and
love it.
done.
Is that
Oh,
what
it
it was,
happened.
eh?
Oh,
Because
And
the
then
team
Lev-
I won with in Beatingheim, we were basically all small
True.
town Canada fellas.
Done.
Not Alberta, but
Close
Well-
enough.
yeah.
I know I was busting you guys.
Lev-
all- It was actually pretty good hockey and some really damn good players in there. I was quite surprised. You never know what to expect. I actually got the call from Kinch, I think, and he was trying to, we were talking about Ravensburg, and I was just I don't even know where the hell I was. Yeah, I was in the Straubing or something, just miserable because we were terrible there. And I was planning on going back to the American League and playing for my buddy Brad Larson, who's actually the head coach of Columbus now. I was actually going to go back there and muck and grind and get beat up every night and just but I was talking to Kinch, and he was telling me how unreal Ravensburg, how the area was. He basically sold me on it, and then he said, "Here's the kicker, though. The only problem we got is we got one guy on the team that you're gonna have to friggin' babysit, and that's Slav Tinsky."
Oh, that guy was a donkey out there, man, all the time.
Hey, you know what? He was vital. He came up pretty big in playoffs. He did. He scored.
Here's my philosophy on that. So I just basically said, okay, we're not going to win without fucking these Germans jumping on board here. So like I went out of my way to basically try to draw this guy into the team and get him to buy in.
yeah.
And we went to his house. I took him to every party. Like we
Right.
said, hey, Slavs, you know what? And the guy, and it was all a show. He's actually not that bad of a guy when you got to know him. He's a
Yep.
bit of a donkey, but he cared. And that's why we won it all. We literally got everyone gelling together. We freaking partied together. We played hard together, and he was a big part of it.
Well, you probably never ever heard of any of these episodes, but that's what I say is winning is playing hard, but also having fun together off the ice and being a team and doing shit together. That's the teams that win, the teams that are
What a
best
year
friends off
Slava
the
Tinsky
ice.
guy. Think about Slava's year. He comes in, he was the captain, he gets stripped of the
You,
seat.
that's,
That guy was the captain of the Ravensburg
He was
Tower
the
Stars.
captain, and then there was like this
there's a
big
mutiny.
blow up.
There's a
Remember we were
mutiny.
at that little
There's
Irish
no
pub?
way.
The
Somebody,
mutiny.
how did they named him the captain at one point in their franchise history? Sorry, Slavs, you tried hard out there. You were quite unpredictable to play against. That's all I'll say.
Or anyone with a worse
It was a
Sorry,
year.
go ahead, Kitcher. So
No, I just
Slavs-
was saying it was quite a year. Like he comes in and he's been there probably as long as you, Benny, maybe a little bit less. And
Yeah.
then he was kind of like the head German or the oldest German, I think, on the team. Maybe Blassie was a little bit older. And then he kind of, things got off rocky and he was just kind of doing his own thing like Slava does. And then he stripped him. And then I remember we were at the Irish pub and everyone's like, holy crap, what's going on? How are we going to bring this guy back in? And all the talks with the Canadian guy, we got to keep everyone together. And then they kind of lined it up and took a new leadership group. But in fairness to Slava, like he actually stuck with it in the playoffs. Everything kind of evened out. We played Shawinigan. Everything was kind of balancing out between the top guys. And they needed the guys like Slava to come in. And Slava had a great playoffs. He was actually, big reason.
He scored a game 2 winner in overtime against Schwinn.
Yep. 2-on-1, you guys. Yep.
That's right. That's right.
So you guys beat who in the finals? Schwinnigan?
And again,
I don't mind having you guys back because I signed up for Beatingheim knowing we didn't have the same budget and I knew we were gonna lose and we did. So if I could do anything again, it would be to not be loyal and like take the same contract signing up to lose. I would have gone somewhere to try and win those years, It sucked.
Well, I know
I think going back to that original story where Doc was talking about it, what was it, in February? Wally, and I mean, you've been to Bremerhaven, Krimichow.
Oh, Krimichow gets cold.
Hansel and Gretel's house down in the forest. You got to weep through
Oh God.
and it was like Wednesday. And now you guys might correct me if I'm wrong, but there was like probably 12 guys on Wednesday. And then it was Thursday. And then there was 10 guys. And then Friday hit, and it was just us boys. And I think it was only a couple of the Germans. And we
played 49 minutes that game.
Why did you have no players?
Everyone's
COVID,
getting sick.
This was COVID had nothing on us. Like
Yeah,
we were
COVID.
banged up. And so we're sitting on the bus, and Levy's like, we're the doers. We're the doers. So there's literally there's 8 guys on the bus, Wally. 8 guys.
You played at a pro hockey game with like,
Dude, and then the goalie, it was our starter was
goalie.
hurt, our backup was hurt, the call-up was hurt. We had this 5th guy, he's in grade 8 Ravensburg junior high. He's got the DNR pads on like you're playing street hockey. And so we're going out to the ice. And I'll never forget it. We're just sick as dog. You can barely put your head up. And we're walking out, and Levy he's walking with Diddy, with Peter, our coach. And he looks at Peter, and Peter looks at Levy, and he's like, we can't get more than 4 shots in net tonight. And we won. And then remember, he's walking out onto the ice, and he just bails. Yard sale.
this is the goalie or the coach?
Yeah.
This is the goalie.
Starting
man.
goalie.
How'd that game go?
We fucking won. We fucking won. That's why.
3-1,
That's
man.
fucking won. That's why.
That's
Bam,
hockey.
bam, bam.
The coach was Draisaitl's dad. That's what he's calling him. Diddy.
That's on the research team here. Found that, so I knew he was there. I think Lev's told me in his episode. So the kid was out skating with you guys that season, and you could tell he was a player or what?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no, he I mean, he's probably 13, maybe at the time, 14. And I remember Maloney just going over to his dad and just saying, you need to get this kid out of Germany now and get him to North America if you want him to be a player, because you could just tell he was big, he was smart, he was good. You could see all of the things there, right? But
So do you still think he's got to get out and get to North America?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw a lot of those young Germans that we played with. They all had the tools, but they had no fucking clue.
It's like
Kunak.
Kunackle left right after, like he played like with the men that
Yeah.
year, and then he left to Windsor or wherever, and
Yeah.
then so did that Reader. They all left.
I think Maloney played a pretty big role in getting him out of there, right? Didn't you talk with quite a bit?
So Draisaitl's dad and I had the same advisor. What was his name? Yaro Tuma. And so anyways, after practice we talked, it was me, Diddy, Draisaitl, and Tuma, and we talked about it, and I said, man, get this guy out of here. Get him in because they're asking me, like, where do we send this guy? Should we get him into the Western League or wherever it is? So, and that was the thing. Like, get him out here. They hucked him right into Prince Albert. So, if you want to toughen up, that's a good spot to go. But I think it was a risk. Actually, I see Leon every time he comes out to Vancouver as much as I can. So he's we talk about that a little bit, and we just kind of laugh about that and he remembers coming out and skating with us. It's pretty cool because now that my boy's of that age and kind of visiting him.
He's pretty good.
Good number too. Good number.
Oh,
Well,
great number. Great number.
That's
Lots
why
of tallies left in that digit.
that's why Draisaitl wears 29, because Benny was a fucking legend. And that's
Is it really? I bet you it is, because when he was a kid,
It is.
Benny was
It is.
running amok in Ravensburg.
it is, boy. It is.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Shut up.
It is. It's 100%
Draisaitl wears 29 because of you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but they're
Great stuff.
like they're awesome people. Like his dad, like
Beautiful.
Peter, was like,
You know what? I bet you there was a kid or two in Beatingheim that wore 18, fellas.
Yeah,
right?
there is.
Yeah,
there
there was.
Yeah, there is,
Was
man.
that-
Yeah, there is. They just
That's
maybe
the
didn't make it. That's a small hockey world, though. So, how was Draisaitl's old man to play for? What was he like as
Beauty.
coach? Yeah.
Yeah.
Unreal.
I mean,
Well, you don't win if they're not decent.
but he was. I played in Europe for a long time, and I know we all did, and I feel like most of my coaches in Europe were just fucking complete dickheads, and he had that in him. He was like a dickhead, but he was also a really smart guy, and I think he probably knew hockey better than than most Europeans that I played with. He was just such a smart coach, and he was a bit of an asshole, but to the kind of the perfect amount. He was tough, but fair.
You know,
He let the horses go too, Wally, eh?
Right.
He
I was
let-
going to
he
say,
let-
because dealing with Levs in the shed from other coaches, I've heard wasn't always easy.
You know what?
As a
Levy-
coach. But this
Levy
guy
always
obviously
gets
pushed the
hurt.
right buttons because you led the league by like, so for me, I had finished like right near the top of the league in scoring. Then the year after I hurt my knee, I missed a whole season. And then my year back from my knee injury is when you get 87 points and I'm like in the 40s and I'm like, you're talking, I'm 40 points behind the leading scorer. And I'm like, that can hurt a guy's feelings, you know?
I had a couple of good line mates, you know. I had a couple guys that just
Levy, do you guys remember in Whitewater? It was the shootout. And Wally, this was the great. I'll sit on a tractor, just start laughing. Oh, he scored from the red line, man. This goalie
On
was
the belly shot.
This goalie's doing loop-de-loops, and Levy walks in. He just touches the puck like he's Mighty Ducks and just fires a sauce right into the net. Won the game. What is this guy doing?
What do you mean? The
Unbelievable.
goalie's behind the net while he does it?
Yeah.
So
It was
the
crazy.
refs say it's time to shoot, and the goalie's behind the net.
He was like facing the stands doing this. You know, they do the German
Oh
thing.
yeah, getting the crowd going.
He's getting the crowd warmed up, and Lev just tucked one in, threw it straight in the stirrup, and I'm done. 12's out.
I told you it was shitty league.
Oh.
Levy was toying with those guys out there. I'm telling you right now. He like, you know, like when you work on the power play or whatever, you work on the two behind, you draw guys up, get them flat footed, huck a puck back. Levy had that shit figured out before fucking that even was introduced into the game. He'd bring it up, he'd just sling it back to Levy, and he would just dance his way through everyone and go down. That's how I got all my.
Maloney's tickling the rafters in the high slot and just burying. Oh,
Blakey going down and back, down and back, down and back.
About fucking 10 strides a game. I just hung around the net, like whack sticks out of the way, fucking push guys around. Puck came to me and just took half clappers the whole time.
I was gonna
best
say,
power play in the
I was
league,
gonna
buddy.
say maybe you think it was
Ever.
such a shitty league is because you were playing with Levs and he made it really fucking easy. Because
Yeah,
you know what? There's a lot of guys that go over there and are like, this is really hard to play here.
Honestly, like I still, when I'm coaching at this level now, like in junior hockey, I bring up our line quite a bit because it was kind of like a perfect storm for all of us. We had Kinch walking the blue line and like shooting for sticks. I can't get our junior guys to shoot for sticks at all right now, and he had it down to an art. Literally, I would.
That's a big deal.
Oh man, and I honestly had about friggin' half of my goals or tip-ins or a little, and it was Kinch shooting for sticks all the time.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big flopper, wasn't any of that. So it was like a
The
kind
twisted wrister. I don't remember Kinchy taking the big schlog shoes.
There was little slog shooting going on with Kinch.
No twisted wristers.
Oh,
I
twisted
know.
wrister, yeah. I mean, it was a good line. And to you guys' point, you guys were laughing about who was going down and back on the right side, which was Glykey, I think.
Yeah.
And he never made one
Yeah.
goal on that right side until we won at the game, the very last game. He came the back door and he finally scored to go up 2-1 in game 3 to clinch it against Shawinigan. How many times did he go up and down? And
Oh.
Levy would feed him in the back, or Benny or Maloney would let one go through his legs, and oh my god.
Yeah, but you guys remember
Yeah.
that. I forgot who that was. Fucking Glykey.
It's like, yeah.
And Kincher's
Game
right.
winner.
Like, Kincher's right. Like it was the last minute of the last game of the finals, and he finally gets one. Yeah, talk about fucking perseverance.
So
Right.
when you guys
Timing.
talk about how
Lifeboat timing, man.
you guys talk about how great your line was and stuff, and like I saw Benny do it in Ravensburg for years. It got me all, because I had talked to Ravensburg about going there, and it was like, I'd play with him. That's what you're thinking, right? And that shit matters when you're over there. But with Levs here in Denmark, okay, I'm having a great time. I leave Germany finally. I'm having a swell time. Top 4 in the league in scoring. Me and my line mate Quirky are running a muck. We're right there. So then Lev's, what, you spotted me? I think it was in a 40-game season. You spotted me 10 games. And he should, it doesn't hurt. He showed up and he beat me by like 12 points. And I finished second in the league in scoring, and he finished first, and he played 30 fucking games.
I had a couple good line mates that year too. I had a couple good linies that year.
It was
too.
good line mates.
That sounds,
Yeah, no,
that sounds
but it was,
consistent, Lev.
I'm watching this shit again. I'm like, I moved countries. I left. Okay. He made me feel bad there. Then he came to Denmark. Everybody was open again. And I'm like,
Everybody's open.
everybody's open.
Always.
Yeah. His
It's
hips
the
are
curl up,
open, and
man.
so is everybody else.
Oh man,
What is that? Heel to heel?
Oh God.
10.
How, like, we would, Wally, after practice, me and Maloney, and he's old as balls, we would try to do the circle, and it, like, I thought Maloney would pull his hip or
I
pelvic
know.
out.
You know. And it's,
And-
I think Levs just walks around like that.
I fell over about 19 times. Like, it's unbelievable, the heel to heel.
No.
Sydney ain't got nothing on 12.
Hey, Benny, that's because we were in shape. We needed the gumbo body like fucking the dad.
There you go, right?
You guys had too many
You
muscles.
can't pull shit with it.
Yeah, when you're all fat, you can't get hurt, right? It's all protection, right?
That's
you're
gritty,
right.
man. That's gritty.
Okay, I got a question. Serious. This is a serious question. Okay. In Ravensburg, did you guys do Cabina Fest?
Oh fuck yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
great time, eh?
yeah, yeah.
I don't.
That was like, yeah, that was. I played in the DEL a couple years before that in Castle, and that team we only did like one the whole year. Like they did one at the beginning of the year, and so when I got to
Changes your whole
Ravensburg-
season.
Well, when I got to Ravensburg, Benny's like, no, we do one every Tuesday for the whole fucking season. I was like, okay, finally, I'm in the right spot. Now I'm in the right spot. Yeah,
Right.
we probably did 15 of them that year.
Yaden Volk, brother. Yaden Volk.
Jaden Vogt. So, can du sprechen ein bisschen Deutsch?
I'm bissing, brother. I'm bissing.
How about any of you
we-
other fellas? You guys came from the fancy DL. You guys probably don't know any.
Nah, we don't.
You know
speak
what?
Kind
With
Deutsch
the-
in the DL, right?
this.
You know what was a good
Right.
part about those Cabina Fest guys was those Bavarian guys that bring in the good beer. They'd always bring in that good stuff. They went
Jaegers, the
Ravensburg had
Jaegers.
So
terrible beer.
how did you guys do it then? Because we used to do it. You'd bring in like, say, 2 cases of beer and then food for the full team. Is that what you do?
Yeah, pretty similar. Those guys are bringing in from you, like Bushy, and those guys are bringing like those Tagan's ears, and
Yep.
those are good.
Some donaires.
Yeah.
You always want to talk about donaires. So how was the donaire game in Ravensburg? Because in Bietigheim, there's one right by the arena. They're dominant around the league. They do a fantastic job all day long. So how was it in Ravensburg?
I like the old pommes, schnitzel and pommes, schnitzel mit pommes.
Right.
Yeah.
But so are you going like brown sauce on that, or what are you doing with it?
No
Mustard?
ketchup.
Ca-
Ketchup.
What? Oh, that's Canadian.
That's Canadian.
Okay. Kincher, what
What
are
was
you
the
doing over
sandwich?
there?
Do you guys
I
remember the
would-
sandwich?
They had the hot sausage. Which were those? Those are right outside the rink. Those are pretty good. I remember having
What was the
them.
ham sausage?
Ham
Um,
sausage. Vice versa?
It was like bologna sandwich.
Oh,
You guys remember-
oh God. Yeah.
Oh,
Leverkassen. Leverkassen. Yeah.
Oh, you poop your pants.
Oh, that shit's pretty good.
Immediate diarrhea.
You put a little mustard on there, and hello, you got yourself
Yeah.
a good night.
And you got, and they put it on a nice fresh bun. You know, it's soft on the inside, but not soft on the outside. I don't know how they do it.
It's a beauty. Life's about simple things, man.
You know what I find? I think the biggest thing in their sausage game, the more I think about it, because I'm into food, is I think the buns in Germany are that much better than the sausage buns in North America. They're just,
100%.
yeah, they're
you
it's almost crunchy on the outside, but then soft on the inside. And like here, we're we're just giving buns away, you know?
It's fake.
Nobody
It's fake
cares.
food. No.
Yeah.
You gotta get to the
Tortillas
bakery.
down here.
Okay,
What?
hold on. Let's go to the big dog. What?
I was just saying, you got to get to the bakery earlier. She's going to be hard and blow your teeth out by the end of the afternoon.
That's true. That's true. There's not as many preservatives in the bread over there. Yeah, you're right. But I tell you, walk into practice, you could hit a couple bakeries up and it can change your body type over 6 years.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the big dog. What if you were going to order a meal in Germany, or if you're going to go back to Ravensburg, what are you going to order?
Holy shit. You know what? I would actually like to, because I lived in the middle of nowhere on like a milk farm or whatever. So I'd actually like to, if I knew any Deutsch back then, I would like to hang around some of the locals and get into some of their local meals a little bit, rather than just like every meal I had over there was like, I don't even remember them because I was walking to the bar at 3 a.m. and jamming something down my throat. So whether it was a donair or some pommes frites, but I don't know. To be honest with you, it took my guts friggin' months before it settled down when I got over. Actually, I'll tell you a quick story. My first year over there, it was in Crefeld, and there was no water over there because there's all that freaking gas shit, right?
So I'm like, with the bubble water, the bubble water, the carbonated water.
Well, I either had carbonated water or like this energy drink, which like tasted like grapefruit or something. So the only thing I just started hammering these grapefruits. Well, sure shit, I get home and I'm literally peeing out of my ass because this stuff is running through me. And you guys remember the old toilets where it had like a ledge on there, like a shelf?
Shelf?
It's like,
Shelf?
What's going on here? Does somebody turn on a massager or something? Or what?
old German, Google it, man. These
Did
old
everybody
German
else hear
toilets,
that?
they have-
Who's doing that? Oh, it's gone.
I'm
Stop.
telling you right now, there's a shelf on
Maloney.
this.
It is Maloney.
What's that? Am I frozen?
You're making noises in the background, like it's like a.
Are we good?
Now you are. Yeah, keep going. You're on the shelf.
The diesel truck fired up next to me there.
Oh,
so.
that's what it is. You guys are out in the country. They got the big trucks there.
Any of your guys' toilets over there have like a shelf, and then the water. It was like how it's yes, I'm telling you, every old German toilet was like it would save the water. Anyways, I had a dump on this thing, and it was like a platter like this, and I'm literally after practice just dumping on this thing, and I'm like, embarrassed. And then
the smell is terrible because you can't flush it. It's the
Well,
worst thing.
So if we're gonna
True.
get into the shitting in Germany, let's discuss this, okay? I know what you mean. There's not much water in the actual toilets,
no,
right?
no.
You
The
just
toilet paper
you just
sucks.
like depends how you're living, right? If you've been to Christmas markets, if you've been at Kabita Fest, you may splatter the back, right? But if you're living right, maybe it's not going to take up as much cleanup. But
No.
there's no water. You're not being saved by any water, right? It's just hitting it.
German
It-
engineering. They can make the best cars in the world, but I gotta flush my toilet 97 fucking times.
Well,
I'm-
you got to get the brush out too, and it's work. It depends how you're living. Maybe that's why they're living clean over there.
Let's talk about Europe for a second. Like it literally tests you for the first like 2 to 3 months, and a lot of people will bail out. But if you can hack your guts rumbling, the fucking time difference, and then all this shitty food, like in all honesty, everything was like gravy or some sort of slop on your plate, right? If you can get to that part, it's fucking a blast. But
Yeah.
if you can't,
I like the food. I don't know, man.
I love the food. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
what are
These
those?
guys are high maintenance.
Those
I
little
tell
Maloney's
ya.
high maintenance.
Yeah, it's
He's
it's
BC now. He's BC now.
you know
He's-
what? They come from
Lower
these high they
mainland.
come from these high leagues.
Yeah.
And you know that yeah.
How about the in Oktoberfest, the big chicken turkey leg?
Ostrich leg.
Remember?
Don't they call it like a handle? Like because it yeah.
I don't know.
Ugh.
I don't remember
food's-
much from Oktoberfest. I'm over 3, man. I went 3 times and ended up in the Czech Republic twice.
I had a tough bounce once too. So I understand. It's like you can go there with great intentions and it just gets away from you quick,
yeah.
right?
Oh,
Did
get away.
Ravensburg have its own thing? Because Bietigheim had one where like they had their own with, and it's a full festival, full go. Did Ravensburg have that?
Hey, Ravensburg is only like an hour from Munich. Like it was, or 2 hours from Munich. So it was close enough.
Doesn't matter though.
Yeah,
I think they had Benny. You would probably know better. I think they had it before, like we all got there, wasn't it, Benny?
That's probably
Like
because
Rootin'
if
Fest or
you
something?
had
Yeah.
it, you'd know. Because it, man,
It's-
Bietigheim's was the best time of the year, and it was always right at the start of the season.
I
We had
think I think
Ravensburg
Ravensburg had it.
Fest in August was Fest, and then in February was Fasching. That was
Fashing's
Robbie's-
like Halloween, where they get all dressed up like Halloween and
Oh,
just
my
That was-
run amok.
That was
yeah.
that was a gong show too. I remember that. Yeah, that was
good
that was
gravy, man.
street parade and
Mostly-
everything.
Because Ravensburg is like a medieval area, right?
Yeah.
And they remember that goofy shit they'd have walking down the street and
Yeah,
scaring
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it was
Mhm.
pretty neat. It was an interesting deal.
Did we finish the what would you eat back in the day in Ravensburg? I think we were on the first guy and got sidetracked.
Diarrhea.
Kincher.
It all ends with
Kincher, oh
diarrhea.
yeah, the diarrhea. We got into shit and then nobody was
Oh yeah.
hungry.
Little platform.
Kincher, what would you get back in the day?
I'm kind of like Benny. Benny and I would always find the little farms. We were all out of town, so we always go to all the little shindigs out there. That like, so I like the schnitzel and pommes. That would be my go-to. I don't eat a lot of that anymore, so
You're
I
not
think that
putting
would be my,
ketchup on it, are you?
no, I don't know if I'd. You know, my daughter might do that, but I'd probably put the grizzle on there and get at it.
Well, cranberry sauce was the one they threw me for a loop with over there. They put cranberry sauce on the schnitzel, and I
That'd
was
be
like,
good.
it was, yeah.
That
it
would be
was.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it.
Labs, you're a bit of a kebab guy, probably, eh? Doner kebab,
Well,
Yufka.
yeah. I mean, kebab after practice every day, automatic, like right at noon. Kebab.
I mean, and
Boom.
then they complain about our bodies in Germany, but then
Why?
you got a Turkish guy shaving meat off a stick,
yep.
putting the dough fresh in a pizza oven. And I mean, how do you control yourself? And then they give it to you for €3. And you're like, well, what a great day. I'm
87
gonna go have a
points.
nap now. Thank you.
Kebabs, 87 points. Do the math.
Guys, Benny, what was that Greek place you took everybody to? You took everyone to that Greek
Oh,
place. one
diet.
time.
Dionysus. Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Oh,
What-
yeah. So you're
what was-
getting into the tzatziki and whatnot there.
What was the shot? You always had the shot.
Mm.
Rocky. Rocky.
No, what?
Oh, no, that's Uzo.
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 Oh yeah, Uzo. Yeah, yeah.
Uzo.
Or
Yeah,
after.
Landsuit had one of those places too.
Oh, that was heavy.
That's
Did you guys?
Bad toe drag.
Did you guys ever eat at
Oh,
the place?
bad toe drag.
Did you guys ever eat at the place out by Schwarzenbach? That was like the farm out there. It was like the best meal like in the whole area.
So good.
Did you ever
Real
eat out
apple
there?
juice. Oh,
It's like-
so good.
'cause
The
guys-
apple juice.
The guys that lived at Schwarzenbach, we would go eat there like once a week, but I don't know how many times you guys ate out there. That place that place has been around since the 1600s.
That's crazy. Klaus.
real apple juice.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around Leon Draisaitl wears 29 for Benny here, because like I was there playing against him and I was as big a fan as Leon. Like,
Yeah.
and I was playing for the Steelers. But
And not a lot of saucer.
okay, I got another question. Okay, I got another question. Just discussing this with, because Lev's body isn't that great either, like myself.
Underrated, Wally. Underrated.
Well, you know what? I'm just gonna ask my question. Okay, he ran amok in every league he went in, so whatever. With Draisaitl's old man, what's training camp like? Because in Bietigheim, it was not normal. It was insane, actually. What's your training camp like?
It was tough. I mean, I remember being tough. I mean, I remember the running. Like, I mean, at typical Germany, right? Like, lots of running, lots of. Then we do like the 100, or not the 400-yard sprints around the track. I mean, I remember just a fucking lot of running, and
That's what we did. So much fucking running.
yeah,
Rune
yeah.
days.
Moon days.
They yell at me, too longsome. That means too slow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Too slow.
That does mean too slow.
Yes, it does. Okay. I got another cutting edge shed question. How do you guys feel about German refereeing? I'll start with the big dog.
Oh, fantastic. I got to know all of them on a personal level. Love them all.
Yeah, they were pretty good. I
You know
really like the fat guy with the mustache that like, do you remember him? Betty, do you remember him? This guy was such a dickhead. Do you remember him? He was so fat and he had the mustache and he'd be like, you couldn't even look at him if he made a bad call, because if you looked at him, you're getting a 10.
Oh, he's
And you'd be-
awful.
Well, hey, let me tell you this. So I love when they would be like, it would be like soccer to them or foosball or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And they would go, come in here. Come in here.
Yeah. And they're bringing you over and you have to come.
And the first time I saw that, I was like, what? It's like, fuck you. You come over here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, he's like, I'm going to.
So did he meet you in the middle or did you come?
He's like, kick me out. I was like, fuck, see you later. I'll go eat some fucking pomfrets.
See, that's the thing though, is on a lot of teams is if you're an import and you get kicked out, they get mad.
Well, that used to be slapstick. Slapstick used to be diving around and dropping and flopping. And after a while, I wouldn't even go over to the ref. They're like,
Who's
the guy would be like, go.
slopstick?
Lava.
Oh, sorry.
They're like, go talk to the ref. I'm like, I have nothing to say anymore. What am I going to say? Everyone knows this guy's rolling around on the ice. Just kick him out. Give him a 10.
Refs are awful, but and to be honest with you, they're actually reffing the way that hockey is called now in our league. To be honest with you, that's
No,
where
and I watched a junior game in my hometown when I went back. We raised some money or whatever in the shed, and I went back and donated the money, and then I watched a game when I used to play, and I would get beat up by older guys, and you know what? It was kind of exciting and scary, but whatever. But these kids were wrestling on the ice with gloves on, and then the refs gave them 5 minutes for fighting. And I was like, that wasn't even close to a fight. How did those refs just call that fighting? Nobody dropped a glove. It was wrestling around on the ice. It was embarrassing to watch. And this was in Elmira, Ontario.
I know I talk a lot on the at a league and they talk about
Holy
I get
moly. There
pretty
it is.
heated.
You're
on
back. You're back.
There to fight. And I'm sticking up for our guys because they're getting 3-game suspensions for fighting. And I'm like, well, if that's a fight, then fuck, I've been in about 5,000 fights then, because that's to me is just like freaking get to know someone a little closer. I don't know.
It would be hard, right? Because I don't think that's the way it should be.
Well, I don't know how good the show is or anything, so I'm going to be careful what I say here, because like maybe there's only 4 viewers. I don't know, but I don't know, Wally, but I got to be careful here, right? So I might be getting fined.
Yeah, don't say nothing. Nobody's listening in that age group. The honey hole is our listeners are about 80% male between 35 and 45. Right in the honey hole. I think it's 30. Sorry, I think I got in younger bracket there, but yeah. People listen until they're about 30, and younger than that, they ain't into this shit. Okay. Anyways, I don't know where we are. Anybody else talking about food yet? No? You want to talk about food? No? Okay. Sorry, I have issues, I guess. Christmas market, Ravensburg. Good one?
Oh, best ever.
So, Benny, I talked a little bit briefly with Ravensburg like a couple years because they were like another team in the league that had money and there was like some sniffing around, but like nothing really happened. Well, nothing, but like I always heard great things. And then I was always like, well, Beatingham, I'll come back for the same. Yeah, we'll come back. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
It's a unicorn, Wally. That place is a unicorn.
It's a beautiful spot, isn't it? By that big lake or something.
Man, the summers and the falls are unreal. Yeah, unreal.
Isn't it by the big lake that's by like Switzerland? Yeah, Bodensee. There we go. I've been there.
Yeah, you got the mountains. We go skiing every Monday. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, my daughter was born there. It's a fantastic place.
So why
He's-
did you retire when you did? Because you were pretty dominant in that league. So how do you? It was the farming you had to get home to help out, or what?
Well, I was pretty injured my last year. I ended up, well, I guess I can say it now. I ended up getting bucked off really bad on a horse that summer, and I broke my pelvis. And so obviously it was against the contract. And so I sort of played in Maloney. Anyways, at the end of the year, I was tired of being hurt. And my father-in-law asked me if I wanted to hang him up and start farming. So that's how that went. And so this is actually a funny story. So I was hurt pretty bad going to training camp, and Maloney was there. I think, you're there, right? Before you went to Switzerland?
I don't remember. I was going through the same thing, wasn't I, or something?
I can't remember. Anyway, so I was like, I can't say I'm hurt. Like, I gotta pretend. So I'm like, take me in the corner, man. Like, take me in the corner. And so we kind of like fumble around, and I go into the corner, and I'm just doing the fish like I'm hurt.
Yeah, I do.
Go get x-rays, and my pelvis is fractured. And I was out for the rest of the year. So
Yeah, we missed you, Benny. I remember that year because that was a year after we won it.
yeah,
And then, I mean, we missed. I think Leavitt was gone, Maloney was gone. We were trying to replace parts. I mean, it never was the same as what it was. And then I remember, because I ended up being my last year, because I remember you did like a hot lap at the end. The fans are. I will never forget that moment. It was awesome. I had tears in my eyes. You were skating around. It was our last game. I think we won the first round. Remember we down 3-0. We came back and won.
Landshut.
Help Ron. And then we played Landshut, and they had a good team. They walked us under the carpet. And then I remember we were at home, and you got to do a hot lap around. And that was pretty cool. That was pretty awesome. And I never knew that was going to be my last game, because I had a 2-year contract to go to Reuniting, which is like the worst arch rival. And I was like contemplating, because my kids were getting older, and I ended up hanging them up that same year. So I feel like I lived a little part through you, Benny, when you got to do your hot lap. And that was a pretty cool moment. Yeah. It's because
you guys
love you there.
Well, and it was a special, you being there, and they put the jersey up in the rafters. That was pretty sweet. And you guys had a big part of that too. So
your jersey's up in the rafters in Ravensburg?
Yeah.
Cool.
How do you do your homework, man? Holy shit, this guy's a legend.
I knew that. I played against them the whole time. I didn't know they retired the jersey.
I
was trying to figure out why he retired so young, because I thought he was still really good. And he wasn't even like 30 yet. I'm like, well, what are you doing?
I said I took the dollar.
I thought they retired the jersey if he played another 5 years, because he was still good and he just quit on them. Hey, that's better than in Bietigheim. They used to call me Mr. Brent Walton, and then they told me to kindly leave and never come back.
I'll go stick it, Wally.
Hey, nobody's wearing 18 in Bietigheim. So whatever. What could you do? You only do your best, right?
Hey, was St. Jock's in Bietigheim with you?
Yeah, he had a tough body too, and he showed up, eh?
I've known him since we were little. I played against him at Edmonton since we were like 10 years old. He's a good dude too.
Oh, he is a good dude. Yeah.
What a beauty.
No, he is. Yeah, he came on in the shed too. And you, just so you guys know, okay, we're just getting to know each other tonight, but you're all gonna have to come on for your individual episodes so I can dive deep into this whole shit, right?
All right.
So you guys know. By the way, when I told Maloney or the big dog that this was happening, he's like, okay, I'm really busy. How about like 3 months from now? And I'm like, actually, it's happening next Wednesday at 9:30 my time. And it's happening if you're coming or not. He goes, okay, I'm in. Hey, I like your adaptiveness. Is that a word? But I mean, you're in a truck at your son's practice and you're here.
Well, I can't miss this. In all seriousness, these guys are beauties to play with. And Wally, you're a hell of a player too, and you're wheeling around out there, fucking chasing the puck around. But it's
right.
This is a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun.
Hey,
I know we always give each other a hard time, Wally, but these guys, I mean, we pride ourselves. We could skill win a game. We could grind a win a game. We could fight, win a game. Any way you slice it, these guys are battlers, man. I'd go to war with these four fools.
And that's what I didn't. Yeah, in Bietigheim, we lost that for a bit, and we had it when I first went over to Germany. And man, those guys, I've had them on. I've done the same thing with them, and I was like, that was so much fun to go back and talk about. And to think I could do that for you guys just because we didn't have a budget in Bietigheim is great, right? Because if I would have lost you in the finals, I don't think I'd have you on. I don't think I'd want to talk to you. So that's good.
Well, I'm glad it was Shawinigan. Those guys were always jerks.
Right. And then Levs goes there for the buddy, right? What a punk.
That was the story of my career. I would just follow the money. I just would go from country to country to country, just wherever the biggest dollar sign was.
Well,
I got this. Are we getting into story time yet, or is that for after hours?
Well, it depends what you want to say, but I'll
let you. You're the interviewer guy. You do your deal.
No, I'm not the interviewer guy. I'm just trying to. What I'd like to do is organize fun. I've liked to do it my whole life. I think I'm pretty good at it, and I think that that's what I love about this is I organize fun, and I think you guys are having fun tonight because I know I am. So, yeah. So okay. After you won, here's a real question, because I acted like a fool when the Bietigheim Steelers won. Did you guys have a parade?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. You wore the C. You're the leader, man. You tell us.
Kincher, get involved here. Let's go.
Well, I want to go before we go to the parade because I remember two things. I remember that we won it at home, which was awesome. That was awesome. Anytime you win a championship at home, that was like pretty sweet. And then it was pretty cool to be able to pass the trophy to the old bugger over there in Big Dog. That was pretty cool and share that moment with you guys. But fast forward, it's, you have their night. We're up till 5 a.m. So I have two stories from that time. And I remember getting back at about 7 or 8 in the morning. I remember being at Benny's house, and Benny and Big Dog had their shirts off, and the sun's just coming up, and Benny's playing on his guitar, and we're singing, and I'm thinking like, these people are like around, like, Germany, everyone's stacked on top of each other. I'm thinking, oh my God, like these people are going to shoot us if we keep doing this. And then my second story is we kind of fast forward. We go to, we have a second night. I think it was a couple nights down the road. We have a big party at like a restaurant or something. It's all for the team and the Petroyers and all the guys are there. Everyone's there. We're having a good dinner. And I remember we're getting at it. Me and Levy are kind of taking a break outside. And Levy has a trophy and he's throwing it along the cement. And it's just like chip by chip, the bottom of it's just cracking everywhere. I'm thinking, oh my God, we're supposed to have a parade the next day, I think. The next day. And Levy just throwing this trophy along. It's like sparking up because he's throwing it on cement. I don't know if you remember that, Levy. You remember that at all?
I remember that was actually that was probably the best night at that hotel, like, because that was like a pretty awesome place that we were at. We had everybody from the whole organization. Yeah, I remember the parade was a good time, but I remember that second night being the best night. And I mean the whole experience obviously is. I kind of wish I didn't get so fucked up. I wish I could remember a little bit more, but I just remember being kind of blacked out for about a week straight.
Hey, sorry, Bietigheim.
I remember Wally, we like it was I don't know what Bietigheim for size, but it wasn't a large city, Ravi. Like it would be like 70 to 90,000, like pretty small. And
I'd say we're less than that in Bietigheim, but we're close to Stuttgart. Yeah.
Imagine like the Steelers were like us, we were pretty people
knew who you were.
People knew who we were.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And so
I lost track of that a few times.
The city I remember the city shut down, and we're driving through the town in these Benzies and thinking we were something special. And I remember I was in the car with Langer, our goalie, and Levy, and we were pretending we were Reg Dunlop, just like waving at the fans up in the stand. And people were like in their high rises and just having a good time, man. It was special. It was pretty cool. The whole city shut down.
No, it was the same in Bietigheim, and like it was stuff I'll never forget. But what Lev said about wishing you didn't get so screwed up, it was like I got totaled. Yeah. Like, so we won it in Munich, whatever day. And then we get all the way back from Munich. They got a full deal set up when we get back at like 2, 3 a.m. We go till 7. And then we didn't know there was anything the next day. We thought we just wake up at noon, we'll go for beers, have a time. Come 3, 4 o'clock when we're just, yeah. They tell us there's a parade. And next thing I know, I'm in a parade with my dog. I'm in cutoff jeans. It's a full deal. So, like, I get that, like, you don't want to get that screwed up because I didn't know that we had a parade. So I didn't, I feel bad still beating. I'm sorry, glad social media wasn't a thing God. Like it is now. Right.
Ooh, hey, you got a Meister, man. That's all that matters.
That's right. I do wish though, Levs, like when we went to Denmark and they gave out gold helmets for winning the championship, every guy in the team got a gold helmet. That is way cooler than getting a medal in Germany. Like that medal never made it out. It's ruined. I don't know where it is, but the gold helmet, it's right there. And like, I can wear that around. I can use it at parties. I could do anything with it. Right.
And then we didn't even get rings for ours. Like, I feel like Slava was in charge of this, right? He wanted to get those watches. Didn't we get watches for this?
Yeah, I got watches. Yeah.
I thought we got watches and rings. I mean,
we got both. You probably hucked yours down the road or some shit.
I didn't get shit. I didn't get nothing. I don't think at Beatingheim. We got the medal that they gave us. Thing. But I don't know. Again, I said I shouldn't have got so messed up. Sorry, Beatingham.
You're freaking. You brought them a championship. Don't apologize. Frick.
You're right. The first one in Baden-Württemberg, for gosh sakes, right?
Yeah. Hello.
So how long's practice tonight? How long's Ammo running them?
How long is this freaking chit chat? I'm gonna hang up here soon, but I gotta
shit. Well, let's see here. Do I have any more questions for you before you go? We never talked about Michigan State. Are we gonna get a one-on-one time? Are you too busy for me? Is it gonna be 4 to 5 months from now?
I can answer whatever you got, and I can do one-on-ones too, buddy. Just got to get in the eye calendar.
No, but I don't know if you knew this, but I was a Western Michigan Bronco, and research team found that you also played for the Olds Grizzlies with Dana Lattery, my captain.
Well, I was actually gonna tell a story about Lattery, right? Holy shit, I forgot. I thought you were gonna talk about Daryl Andrews there. Do you know him too?
Oh gosh, I sure do. Yeah, he has a gold helmet too with me, so yeah, he's got a bunch of them.
So he was in Vice Buster. You guys brought that up. No, Krimichow. What's the one with where we're talking about the open rink there? They had
Krimichow.
Yeah, he was in Krimichow and he hated it. He absolutely hated it, and he was trying to get out of his
Krimichow.
Yeah, he was trying to get out of his contract, and they wouldn't let him go. So what he did was every time we'd go in practice, he would take the pucks and try to shoot them all out of the rink.
Yeah,
he was fired.
He actually did, and they wouldn't fire him. And, and then he told me, I know this story. A kid cut across the middle in practice, and he just destroyed a kid, just hammered him. So so they fire him, and they're like, "Well, we can't have him injure our players in practice."
Like, he goes, "Well, I didn't want to injure the kid, but I was trying to get out of my contract early, but I was shooting all the pucks into the bush." Oh my
into
God.
Hansel's house.
What a beauty.
He is a beauty. So Daryl.
They had the mesh on the boards too, didn't they? In Krimichow?
We could go down.
There was no glass.
Chicken wire.
So Big Dog, where did the
yeah.
research team not see that you're with Daryl Andrews? Was I supposed to see that?
Oh, he was a freaking. Oh, I played with him in Crayfeld in the DL.
Oh, there it is. Well, the research team can only get so hot when there's this many guys in the shed, right? You know what? We'll dive deep on your one-on-one time, eh? Good. But if you got to go do the kid thing, then I can let you go, but I'm not done with the other three.
Yeah, well, boys, good seeing you. I do got a jet, but a pleasure. We got to get
everyone, buddy.
We got to get together and have a little shindiggy.
Oh, yeah, I'd love it. I would love it. I would honestly love that so much.
Yeah,
Hey,
absolutely. Miss you, boys.
No, but seriously, I'd thank you for making the time. I know everybody's busy, but winning shit together is fun. And
Calgary next year.
Let's do it.
I like it.
Probably the
I
easiest
might have-
place to meet up, right? Calgary is probably the. I mean, I come back to Edmonton for like 2 or 3 weeks, like every summer, so I can easily
Labs,
get to Calgary.
Are you in Houston still?
Yeah, full time down here. Yeah.
So
I
you
don't
come
even
up
think
to
we got into
Town?
where and what are you doing now with Levs?
Yeah, we didn't. Freak. Wally, thanks for having me, bud.
But thank you. And like, yeah, sorry it takes so long to do this, but there's still a lot of questions. You know?
I gotta have a truckload full of kids here soon. We gotta
Oh,
keep.
I know. And then they're gonna turn on the diesel trucks out there. And then next thing you know, we're not gonna be able to hear nothing.
Good seeing you, big dog. Great seeing you.
Yeah, buddy.
You guys.
Love you, man.
Bye, buddy.
Nice getting to know you, sir. And he's gone. Okay. Holy moly, a whole different view now. Okay.
I'm gonna move to my closet. My kids are trying to go to bed, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go into my. Should I go in the wife's closet? Maybe check out the wife's gear.
Why are you going into a closet? Why don't you
Because
just go
it's like my kids' room's right.
you don't have a
beside our room
shed,
here.
eh? Where are you again?
I'm at my house here in Houston.
Houston.
I'm gonna move into I'm moving in the closet. I'm going in the wife's closet.
And
So it's-
Benny, where are you? Coaldale?
No, Grassy Lake, buddy.
Grassy Lake.
There's about 50 people in Grassy Lake, and we're about 15 miles south of Grassy Lake.
Okay.
Yeah,
When I
you're a
played
farmer.
hockey against you, you didn't see. So that's interesting to me, okay? Because I
Yeah.
always lived by farms. I was not a
Yeah.
farmer.
Yeah.
But we played hockey very similarly, but you're actually a farmer.
Danny, you ever
Yep.
see Steph Myers?
Oh, I seen him. What was it, last 2 years ago? I haven't left. Mind you, it's been longer than that. I haven't left home in like 3 years. So
I play with him in a couple places.
I
like
seen
in
him.
Europe.
So Steph Myers, one of my favorites. He came on
What?
here
He's the
with me, and I think he's one of the best people I've met through this.
I
He
play
was
with
my
him.
little. When he's coming up in the junior ranks, I was the old senior guy. I took care of Steph. He would
I
have.
play with him at Notre Dame, right? So I knew him when we were young.
Hey,
right?
that's
So
right.
That's how I knew him. And then I play with him in Schwinnigan, and I play with him in the UK at the very end.
That's
He's
right.
like one of my. I wish he was on our team in Ravensburg. He would have like fit right in perfectly.
What a diamond, man. What a good guy. Solid,
Awesome
solid
dude.
guy. Tough, could do her all, man. He's a beauty.
Yeah,
loves
You're
Steph.
right about that. You're
Yeah.
right. I didn't know him. I had only played against him too. And then once he came to the shed, I was like this guy.
yeah, he's the best. He's the best.
Just a solid.
Kincher, we
from
got to get
Fox-
you talking
Fox
more,
Valley.
man. How did
This
you
is what-
keep,
this is
how,
what-
how did Kincher keep control of you guys
This is
during
what
that
this is what-
season?
this
Like,
is what Kincher does. Kincher sits in the corner. I remember the exact stall that he was in. He's just stoic and silent, and then he would
in
say like
class.
3 things throughout the year, and then when he did speak, everyone would listen, and it would kind of hit you, right? It would be like, if I'm
That's
gonna
right.
talk, you all better fucking listen because I'm making an important point. So he was very efficient. with his
Kincher,
words.
don't worry, buddy. What our one-on-one time, we'll get rid of these other 2 characters and we'll actually get to talk. Okay.
What do
I
you-
was, you know,
what
I
do
was
you think
probably
about-
my
well,
problem is
Kincher-
They're
sucker
still
in-
trying to talk. Like,
No,
let
no,
the
he's
guy,
not.
let the guy fucking
Wally,
talk.
no. So Wally, they asked me when
Here we go.
Kincher was going to sign with us, and they're like, "What do you know about this Matt Kinch?" And I said, "Wow, I was about -30 the 1 year against him. Then I was -20 against the next year against him, and then another -25 the year after. So yeah, he's a heck of a hockey player. Sign him up." Is basically what I said. So Kinchy and I, we played
problem
against
with
each
the
other
dressing
in junior.
You guys, the problem was in that room is I was kind of stuck in Germanville with the French Canadian, and then you guys had your little party on the one side. They're all on the line. It's such a good side over there. I think Bassey might have been over there and Schwartzy. They're just just good guys, right? Yeah, it was room was kind of a setup, really kind of funny because he had that pillar in the middle, so it was kind of a weird setup. But yeah, it was good. You guys were good.
I've never been in the Ravensburg locker room. It's a interesting arena.
When I went back there a few years later, the pillar was gone. They had it completely taken out. So the room was kind of like opened up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a lot different, like a way different feel in there when it was like opened up.
Right.
So,
Really?
Kincher, are you saying you weren't the captain at the start of that season, or were you named the captain right from the get-go?
No, the captain, I think at that time was Slava, and then they had Orca, Warbeck, and then I was an assistant captain. And then I'm not sure how this all kind of came about, but I think it was the way Slava was just kind of dealing with it. And then I think a lot of guys expressed their stuff to big Draisaitl there, Coach D, P Diddy, and he was I think he could sense it. And then they kind of said, oh, we're gonna revamp it. We're gonna take players' opinions on who's gonna be the guy. And at that time, they kind of started naming names off, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that, I don't have a letter now. That's all right. They kind of named its first 2 assistant captains, and I was like, that's whatever. And then they said, hey, you're going to be the captain. I mean, it was maybe a good blend. I was more of an example guy, and Big Dog was, he was very, very vocal. He was the guy who was kind of leading the room, like how you hear on teams. Like, he was always on guys and talking, and I was, more kind of the guy trying to hold it together. And I kind of had to deal with a little bit more of the drama on the back end, because a couple of the guys were, how everything was set in blocks all the time, right? We were always in blocks of 5. And the 2 guys were always trying to get on with Benny and their line, Benny and Levy's line all the time. So I was always trying to.
So you guys did it blocks of 5. So I'm going to bring that up while you say that. Is in Germany, they talked about that when I went to Landshut. I think that it was pretty much the same at Bietigheim, but that means the D and the forwards go out at the same time, right? Like, it's a block of 5. You're going out the same D and the same forwards at the same time.
Well, and those guys are pretty sneaky with it. It wouldn't start with that, because you probably tried to run 4 lines as much as you could. But then once you got down a goal, it kind of would work out being like, these guys would come off really short, or they'd stay out a little longer when Levy's line would come out, because they were the dominant line. We had a really good second line, but I mean, Levy's had that whole line had such a good year. They're so offensive. So
was it Levy, Benny, and Maloney? It's one line. Yeah. And Benny, you were the right winger and Levy was the center.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And I actually really like the block system. Like I might be in the minority, but when I knew like Kincher and Gleich were out there,
but the problem is you're saying that because you're on the first line. So I dealt with the same thing in Cardiff. We had 3 lines. Yeah. And if you're on the 3rd line of forwards, then you're playing with the 5th, 6th D. And I'm not saying anything bad about you guys in Cardiff. I didn't say nothing, but you get maybe a few more rim jobs than a pass on the tape when you're on the 3rd line and with the 5th, 6th D than when you're with the top 2 guys that pass it on the tape. And it changes your whole shift. It changes your whole season. If you're getting them on the tape, then
no, I mean, you're
trying to make a good chip at the wall because the guy fucking rimmed it to you.
I mean, it's easy to say it when you're playing on the first line and you get to play with the top D pairing, but if you have unselfish guys on your team instead of selfish assholes like yourself who are trying to get points, what it sounded like, and obviously you might not have fit on our team in Ravensburg, Wally. I don't know.
Probably not.
I remember we had you talk about the blocks, and I mean, our 2nd and 3rd blocks. I mean, we joked about as the Canadians, but them Germans, we had a pretty solid team.
Oh yeah.
I remember that second line. I mean, I think Booner. Freddie was on that. Booner, man, Ork. I mean, that's a solid second line in the Boondai, man. I mean, we were a solid team, top to bottom. It was a lot of fun.
The 3rd line was fucking solid. Max Schmidl was a good player.
Just greasy, tough.
Well, then you guys brought in that goalie though, didn't you? Right? Like he came in the middle of the season or something. So for me, like when Bietigheim has we're in the pre-playoffs, we're whatever, you get put out right away. It's like, I don't give a shit who won. I don't think I knew for years. Like, why would I care who won?
Yeah. No, but that was a big turning point though when Langer came in.
You guys probably don't even know I'm a Deutsche Meister too, but just so you know, I am. Yeah. 2 years earlier.
He played amazing for us because wasn't Rhodey hurt?
Rhodey got hurt for the year.
But that was a fight though, wasn't it? Because Roadshow wanted to be the guy, and then Langer came in and
right before playoffs, I think, Benny, right? Langer was playing
Roadshow. So it's not Joseph Meyer, the backup from my days in Landshut.
No,
he was a Landshut backup. I guess before that, Do you remember him?
Oh, for sure I do. I don't know if you probably remember Christian Rode. Like he was a good, what was he in? We're in the Dell. Where did he play? He's played a few years in the Dell, but he came down. He was solid
Ravensburg,
goalie.
like he was there for like 6 years.
I
Yeah,
always find
so-
it interesting when
He
some
would-
guys
he
call
would
it the
take-
Dell and then you call it the DEL. Like it's
Well, I'm
like,
from
do you
Southern
call
Alberta,
it the
man.
Nahul or do you call it the NHL? Like I don't
Whipple.
know. Like
Or the whip.
it's the Deutsche Ice Hockey League. I don't know.
Whatever.
Is it the Dell?
All I remember Roadshow, every period, man, he'd take a ball of snuff and just he'd take her up the schnoz and then
You're talking about the
sniff
tobacco
snuff.
that they sniff.
the
I saw
sniff
that
snuff.
shit. They sniff it.
yeah.
But
Oh,
they sniff
he'd take-
the chewing. It's not chewing tobacco. It's like tobacco
No, it's snuff.
snuff.
And he would, it was a black tar and he would just bury it up the beak. Oy, oy, oy. They called it Bavarian cocaine.
He was kind of like he was doing everything in that corner. He would have like the
Oh.
bread bowls and like he was just like,
Oh.
like almost like a fighter, like just wired, and he's supposed to stop a puck for him. He's just like this in the net. You're like, oh my god.
He was incredible playing Metallica on the guitar, man. It was fun. He was fun. A good guy.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
They should have seen the setup Benny had in his apartment. They had a fucking music studio in their
Oh.
basement.
So this was training camp, Wally. So all the boys, we're getting fired up, meet and greeting and, shaking hands, kissing babies sort of thing. So the boys
Yeah.
go to the bar while Levs and his wife Button Hook, and we come downstairs. And I mean, we had a kick drum, we had we had electric guitar set up. It was a jam room.
Benny
Hey.
taught me how to play the fucking drums.
Yes.
That was
And
sick.
so
This
we
is
came
after
down-
what?
No, we
4
missed the
a.m..
whole bar playing Wild Thing.
My wife's singing on the mic. You're taking her fucking clothes
yeah.
off.
Levy's on the drums.
Lev's
Oh.
really is in the closet though.
I did go to a closet. I am in a closet. Yes. My children are trying to sleep. My wife is going, what the fuck? I'm trying to get laid tonight. I'm in the closet. Okay. I'm doing whatever is necessary.
Do what you
okay?
got to do, big guy. Do what you
Great.
got to do.
Great. that's
We'll
great.
try and be quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard though, right? Because like when you get something like this set up, it's hard to like stop, right?
Well, my kids
Not
are
all
still
of us
up,
have
so
a
they're not-
fucking VIP shed like in their backyard that just, like you got a good setup there.
Little man cave out there. It's perfect.
Yeah. It's sometimes, like even if you play in those shitty leagues, if you hurt your knee in them,
Just, yep.
you can get a shed.
Get
Right.
hurt, get hurt in Germany. Get hurt in Germany.
If you're going to get hurt anywhere, folks,
Yep.
Get Jeremy.
Yep.
I like it.
it's a thing, right?
It is a thing. It is.
Yeah. So
Oh,
just don't hurt
man.
your pelvis.
Yeah.
No.
No.
No. Still paying for that one.
But you still could
That's why I'm the product sampler, buddy.
Yeah.
and that shit would hurt these days, right?
Yeah, we don't move as good anymore.
No, nothing does. Okay, so anyways, what else do we got here, guys? You got stuff? Kincher, I got a lot of stuff to talk to you about because they don't let you talk much. I can tell that. You're like the guy that kept it all together. I can tell you're the guy that just you don't have to do much, but you got her. You're controlling.
You gotta manage these guys, man. You gotta manage
Yeah,
us.
exactly. And I was one of those guys. I was
you
not.
go.
I was not Kincher. I was. Yeah. You, Benny. I think we're quite similar. But seriously, I got to have a one-on-one with you guys, just so you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Name of time.
So, I don't know what else I got other than like, I got a question. This is deep. Okay. The transition out of hockey. Okay. I'm going to start with Kincher. What'd you get into right away? What'd you start? You had a pretty good career. You probably, I'm not being a dickhead. I'm just saying how it is. you played in the World Juniors, you played Swiss A, you played some serious places. That someday I'm going to ask you, like, how the hell did you end up in Ravensburg in the second league? But like, you would have been doing all right. So the transition might be a little different than some guys, but like the transition out of hockey sucks for everybody, right?
Yeah, no, I think I was just trying to find things to throw myself into. Well, I initially, like I said, I thought I was going to go back to play in Europe, and then I kind of got it on with a job and like account manager job in town, which was actually kind of funny. It's a lot of hockey guys who go out and play hockey at lunchtime, and you're getting paid to do this. And so I had to make a decision. I made the decision to stop. I think it was just getting tough. My kids were a little bit older. My oldest was in grade 3, the one that's playing with Brian, if you can believe that, at the time. So it was getting tough to juggle back and forth. So when I got out of it, I just kind of threw myself into that job. I was doing a little bit of scouting for the WHL with the Rebels, just to kind of keep my mind into that. I went and played up in the Allen Cup with the guys, because that was in my hometown in Red Deer. So I went and did that
I watched that night, Doc. I watched that game.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun. I didn't, that was weekly trips up, but it was, I got a couple offers when I was doing that to go back to Europe. I think actually in Bremerhaven and another place, but I just kind of was time for me to kind of let go and let the kids be settled in a spot and not bouncing back and forth. But to your point, it's not an easy transition. I just, I tried to keep myself into many things. I kind of found my way of what was going to work and what got my interest into something else. And now I'm finding myself, after my son Dylan's been gone here now, I have more time to get myself maybe back involved with a little bit of hockey stuff. See, people are asking for me to do things. It won't be coaching, but it's nice to kind of help people that are friends that have kids. So that's been nice. It's it's been different. I mean, right when I see these guys.
And you've been a dad of a kid coming up in hockey, and you are still. And it's interesting for me because I'm in that situation now. Like, I just came from my kid's tryout. My daughter's was yesterday, and it's again tomorrow. I'm pretty well in one here, right? Like, you're doing the tryouts, you're doing the full deal. So you already did that with the kid who is now playing for the big dog out there. So like, it's all gone pretty good, but it does come down to some contacts, right? That you're sending him to Maloney because he's in good hands. And I think that's how hockey comes down to, is you want to send them to places where they're going to be in good hands, right?
Yeah, that was a really lucky thing that happened with my son. He had a pretty good year last year, and there's a lot of teams. I talked to Maloney in January of last year, and they were pretty fun. It was just as a friend conversation. And so it's nice, like, now I'm connecting back with these guys. It's pretty funny how small it goes. But Maloney had no room, but I was calling him as a friend, and I said, hey, these teams are after him. Like, what can you tell me about this and that? And he said at the time, he's like, Matt, I'd love to take Dylan. But I was like, well, that's not the purpose of the call. It's just to get your take on it. So he's super helpful. And then something fell through with Dylan. And they kind of needed a spot, and Maloney called me. He's like, I want your son. And I was like, oh, geez, this is good. I've talked to Maloney more in the last 2 months than I have in the last 10 years. It's been pretty funny how that's happening. So this seems kind of fitting to see Levy and but
it's interesting how the paths start crossing again, right? Like, it didn't for me until I came out to the shed, but now everything's crossing, and I see how it's like there's a lot of sons and parents involved, and apparently genetics are a thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. And Dylan's game, he's a pretty smart hockey player, but it's been nice to be able to trust someone like Maloney. You lean on those guys that you played with. It wasn't the route. Me and Benny went and played junior. I never went college. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into.
That's another question for you then. So how far away is he right now?
From where I'm at, he's probably like a 9-hour drive. So
a 9-hour drive, and he's how old?
17. Yeah.
And he just left this year. Like, this is just fresh.
First year. Yeah.
Hi.
So holy moly.
Lindsay's here.
Hey.
Just say hi real quick.
Hey, Lens.
Hey.
In my closet. What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Look at these two. Look at these
I know,
two.
look at that. Looking great.
I got
Oh,
one
Drew.
more. One more.
Oh, that's
Holy
a Levy
moly,
Junior.
who's that here?
Oh,
Come on in and say hi.
Yeah. Looks like
Benny.
Levy. Why is he wearing your underwear?
Yeah,
exactly.
seriously.
This guy's
looks like
dad's
your
favorite outfit
poster
on. That's,
pic.
that's what I would wear to the bar right there. All right.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're supposed to be in bed.
You're supposed to be.
Sorry about that.
No, it's
Oh,
all
it's all
good.
good.
Sorry, but what were we talking about?
Kincher's kid.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm just saying it's nice.
But
when you
like,
guys-
it's interesting. So he just left home. That's where I'm at. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're a dad. Your kid's been with you your whole time, right? Like I watched my kid in the tryout today.
Wally, how old's your kid? How old's your boy?
He's in under 11. So that would
Okay.
be Adam, right? Or
Okay.
back in the day. So he can skate and he can do stuff. It's just interesting as a dad, like a guy that's gone through it. Like now he's gone, right?
Yeah. And it's different. I mean, he's the guy. So
Think
we
about us, okay? I'm gonna say this
Yeah.
before you respond. All of us, there was that day where you were like, okay, for me, it was going to Western Michigan, but yours is going to junior, right? And like,
Yeah.
and then it's like, well, here comes all the shit that's gonna go on that you're
Yeah.
gonna have to
No,
talk
you
about
guys
someday
enjoy
in the
it.
shed.
You enjoy it. It goes quick. Everyone always says that, especially when the kids get to junior high. Like it really goes fast. I mean, these guys remember Dylan when he was like a young lad, and now he's this man who's turned into a young man and in real good hands. Obviously, with Brian, like that really worked out well. So I'm not too concerned about that. It's just now the family dynamic's different. I don't have a guy in the house. It's me and all the girls. I'm trying to watch sports. I'm watching the Jays game and the Flames game, and I'm kind of sitting by myself, and seems a little bit odd. I used to have him sitting with me. We joke around, and yeah, so that changes. I mean, it goes quick. And the other aspect, it's nice because I'm getting a little bit more free time with to do other things. But everything's changed a bit. But you guys enjoy it. You guys have young kids. That's the best time. Everyone always says that. Oh, it goes quick, but yeah, it's
It's crazy how quick it goes though, because it wasn't long ago when we were all on the ice, like mother effing each other, slashing each other, and like where we're at nowadays seemed like it would never happen. Right? Now we're in the shed. So there you go.
I
It's
wouldn't want to
fun.
be anywhere else, buddy, right now.
Yeah.
But seriously, like I don't know. You guys say Levy brought up the drop passes back in the neutral zone. I'm pretty sure I came up with it before him, but you know. He joined the second league a couple years later. It's cool. We were a cutting edge league, even though Big Dog says it sucked, right?
Hey, you know what, Wally, don't listen to him because like, I don't know, I think it was 2 years, my second year, you guys won it, or my third year. You guys are pretty solid, man. You guys are really good. You were the template for us.
No, that we had a good team. We had good Germans, we had good imports, and we
Yeah.
were all a team and we all did shit together, and that's what it takes, right?
You're top. I think Kells was there.
Yeah.
And Schmidt I think he was a D man.
No,
Yeah.
Greg Schmidt, Doug Andrus.
he?
Oh yeah. They're
Tough
shed
guys,
guys.
man. Tough
Oh
guys
yeah,
to
we had
play
a hell
against.
of a team.
Yeah. you
But
guys
like
are hard
we
to
used to
get.
have some battles. We used
Oh,
to
it was
give her.
awesome. It was awesome.
And then
man.
Leavitt would flop, and I'd be like, seriously? Like, because we're in Germany, you're gonna flop like that? But then they get the power play because he flopped, and then he'd
Well-
score, and I'd be like, this
Hey,
is embarrassing.
Hey, when you're the top scorer, people come for you every night. Okay, like it's every night, right? It just
Right.
doesn't.
Yeah,
stop, Wally.
it's like, oh man.
constant. It gets old.
It
Just
was
learn to play the game in Germany, right? The rest.
Exactly.
out
You
of the
gotta
way.
adapt.
well,
You
I
gotta
get
adapt.
if you're playing to win, then you're playing to win. But
Sometimes you gotta throw a skirt on to get that.
I'll
power
never
play,
forget
right?
that time where I gave you one and you were laying there on the ice, and I was like, are you actually serious? This is what you're doing?
That's great.
Oh.
Seriously, you think I'm joking? Anyways, okay. I got nothing else. Do you guys
Have you guys seen some of those rinks over there now? They're just like beautiful. Like Beatingham's rinks, beautiful. We played in Bremerhaven last year. Like they're all closed in. And
so
World's gone soft.
okay, Bremerhaven's new one ain't much better. I played in it. It's got like the 5 feet of like walking around before there's actual seats. So nobody's close. It's not like action packed. It's a hockey game. They go play. But like Bietigheim, it's okay. Old one is better. I don't know. I never really played in it.
I like the
old rink.
I love.
I like the old rink too.
Yeah.
Fans are right on top of you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. It was action packed. And Ravensburg had a great rink, and I heard about their one before it. There was no roof or whatever, right?
It's outdoors.
Yeah, I heard that. So that would have been right before
mountain.
you, right?
Yeah, it was. I think the year before. It was on top of the mountain. It was pretty cool.
Sick.
Right. And then you got that nice one. You win the championship. You get all this money to pay all these big guys to come, right?
Yeah.
Well,
We had a good.
that was
Wow.
I think that was a disappointment out of that, Benny? Like everyone kept on hearing like, oh, if you guys are winning. And I think that's why they went out and got some good players. Probably the same reason Bietigheim and these other Schwinnigan. And then it was like, oh, they're going to pay the money to go up. And that was like the flop. And that kind of pulled everyone away, and guys are going other places. If that, it's too bad. I mean, it's too bad the opportunity when it presented itself.
that's what it was all about back in the day, was like the second league champion would go up to the first league and the first league would go down. And then people were making money. People were making money over there.
Well,
And then when they shut that down,
You weren't allowed.
I resigned
thought-
for 2 years, Ben. Benny, didn't you sign like after we won the championship? I resigned for 2 years,
Yeah.
but it was based on if we went up, right? And then I remember
We didn't
Jaeger
go up.
calling us in the summertime saying we're not going up.
And it was like, I thought it was a rule that we didn't have capacity for in the stadium or something. It was some BS.
so
I don't know.
Benny, I'm not
Yeah.
saying we have that many similarities, that like we're not that tall, we're not that fast, whatever. But I did the same thing at Bietigheim. I re-signed thinking
Yeah.
we would be going up to the DL. And then we
Yeah.
won the championship. And then we didn't go up to the DL when I could have gone up to the DL.
You blew your
Coulda
knee out
done
that year, didn't you?
It was the next start of the next season. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's
like-
what, man?
But then the thing is, if I wouldn't have stuck with them and if I wouldn't have had the loyalty, then they wouldn't stuck with me the year later and signed me. And then,
Are
all
they still
that.
doing relegation now, or what's going on now?
You think I know?
Yeah, I have no clue. I have no.
I'd have to ask around in the shed. We're trying to get the
I think
German market
Bietigheim
going
won, didn't
here.
they? I think Bietigheim won and they went up. I think they went up. I think that happened.
I think, so Bietigheim is up. They're in the DL now. Yeah. So they're probably just getting thrashed every weekend. And like, they're excited about that, where they could have won the second league every year. It's like, well, what's more fun?
Well,
I
that's
don't
what that year we played Schwinnigan guys in the final. Like they wanted Schwinnigan to win that so bad. They wanted them to win it because that was a team that was pegged to go up, and they were like,
And they had the money, and they like that.
They had the
It's
guys.
all about the budget, the money. And then you get Steph Myers on that team and you don't get it done. And
Well, that Steph wasn't on the team then, man. They had a
Oh.
bunch of knotheads. Like they were just, they were losers.
Yeah, they were losers.
They're a bunch of Americans. That's what they reminded me of.
what did you call? Sorry, you can't say that. What'd you call them? Nodheads?
Knotheads.
Levs, did you have a coach with that last name? Nod?
Oh, Dan. No, yeah, he coached in Ravensburg when I went back. Yeah.
Because he was at Bietigheim just recently, my old honey holes. I was just curious, but anyways, we should probably just shut her down and talk. Hey?
Yeah.
I got this. Now that Lynn's came in the closet, this is a pretty fun. We were at, what was it? Was it Christmas or New Year's?
Super Bowl. I'm thinking Super Bowl.
Super Bowl? Anyways, no, it wasn't Super Bowl because I remember I won all Beck's money that
That's a
night.
different story.
Yeah. So we went out. No, it was New Year's, Wally, because they had fireworks. So we went to this nice.
New Year's fireworks in Germany is insane.
So we went to this steak joint, and it was like, because we're all Alberta boys and we're craving some good old steer action. And so we saddle up at this good old bar, and it was, I mean, perfect steaks. It was wonderful. And we come out of there coming in hot, if you know what I'm saying. And it was right on the lake, it was on the Bodensee. I mean, the mountains and the lake and the fireworks. And anyways, the girls find this castle. This castle right on the hill. And I mean, Wally, this place was unbelievable. And it was like, we did not belong here. We did not belong at this party. Like, we did not belong here. So we walk into the entry gate, and they got the Gestapo there, and 999 verboten doing this one, eh? And my wife, she's just a wonderful farm girl who just like, please, we want to come in and be nice with everyone. And they're getting the verboten one of these ones, eh? And I remember having my parents there, and my dad's, he's a mountain man, and he's unique personality, his big mustache, cowboy guy. And we're sitting there, and he was like, we got to get in here. We got to get in here. And all of a sudden he's like, holy mackerel, the little Texan girl jumped the fence. And sure enough, I don't know if there was a tarp on or off from 12, but I'm not going to say. There might have been jerseys off at this point, but all you see the Levy just jumping the fence, and the Leavitt's just hauling into the castle. Next thing you know, Levs, I think you started shotgunning beer. And then Lindsay and Beck started two-stepping on the dance floor. It was a gong show, man.
You started grabbing champagne bottles. There was champagne bottles just sitting around. So we started grabbing them. Everyone had their own champagne bottle.
Outside, yeah. Outside on the right.
And these Deutschers didn't have a clue. We cleared that party, man.
Everyone's in black tie, tuxedo, looking fresh. Here
and you guys just went in there and dominated.
Cowboy boots and fucking ripped jeans and just fucking.
It was a beauty. And the fireworks, it was incredible. What a night. That's what won championships right there.
But you know what? That is what wins championships, right? Like that, it's bringing the boys together, and it's being a team, and like doing everything on and off the ice together, right?
Benny's old man comes over to Germany to hang out, and he's fucking getting breaking and entering charges for fucking scaling walls into fucking 1,400-year-old castles.
Well,
we broke into a castle, man.
What's interesting to me is, after the knee injury, and then you come back and you're not the guy anymore in the league. Your team's not the team anymore in the league. And then all of a sudden you assholes show up, and then you guys are winning. And I'm like 40 points behind Leavitt. I'm like, I don't know what happened. Like, I took a year off, and then I'm still beside myself listening to this, because I should have been there.
Wally, we are all 40 points behind Levs.
I know. So that's my question for me is, so he had the puck all the time, and everybody's open. He's got the duck feet, but like for you, big fan. That wouldn't feel good for me. That wouldn't feel good for me though, being 30 points behind a guy. I don't think it. How'd it feel? You okay with it?
So much fun, man. It was so much. Well, Levs and I, we played, and we should have been on the Levs. We played in the American League together in Houston, and we got stuck together, and it is what it is, but we should have been on the same line, but contracts and how that goes.
Yep.
And then Levs ended up getting dealt. I think got dealt to San Antonio, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And he ran a muck there as well. But no, we had some history together, and I knew a lot of buddies from the Edmonton days, and Levy knew them, and so we knew each other.
So you guys didn't all know each other. When the research team gets hot and everybody's from Alberta, so number 29 in Ravensburg is Warren from Leon Draisaitl. And when you guys won the championship, all the fellows were from Alberta, basically. And Ben, that was you, I guess.
How do you mean? We all did.
But you organized him. You ran amok there, and then he wore number 29. And then you said, well, the Alberta boys got to be here to win the championship.
Hey, I don't know much, but when the GM asked me, I said, you know what, you need Alberta.
Who
boys.
is the GM? So you got Draisaitl as the coach. Who's the GM? Is he a German
Alex
guy?
Jaeger.
Yeah.
Alex Yeager, great guy.
Yeah, he was a good, really good guy. Really good GM.
Yeah,
I feel
no,
like
for a
I
Ge-
talked to him a couple times, but I
for a German guy, he actually he read the game pretty good and he
Yeah.
understood stuff. And honestly, those guys, they let us do our thing, man. Like we were pretty high octane, us as a line. But I mean, like we got it done. And like I said, we could grind, and I mean, we
yeah, but it's not talking about that year. Like for you did it for a lot of years there. I played against you. I guess we'll have to talk about that your own episode,
Sure.
right? This
Whatever,
is I guess the championship year.
Hey, I
don't
got it. You
know.
know what?
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I'm just like having fun. And I asked Levy what he wanted to do, and he was like, I want to have these guys on. I'm like, okay, well, let's do that. And you know what? It's been really, really fun.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a cool story. This has nothing to do with Ravi, and I don't want to like whatever. So last winter or last fall, I guess I've always wanted to go up to the Yukon, and I did a Dull sheep hunt, and so I spent 2 weeks there and whatever. I'll show you. It's a beauty.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, anyways, long story short, so we show up at camp, and we're sitting talking to this guy, and it's like a meet and greet. Just meet everyone. You're shaking hands, and this one older, he's not old, but he's like 50-ish. And we're chatting away, and he finds out that I played hockey, and he was an ex-hockey player, played with the Islanders and whatnot. And his name was Sean. So we're going back and forth, and like this has intertwining stories with every guy. So he knows guys he played in the I, and we're from, I thought were awesome guys when I was in, growing up, when I was 15, 14, they were the pro guys in Lethbridge. And so you're looking up, you're doing the stories with the hockey stuff and chatting. And there's this one young guy who looked like just like an absolute beast who could run up mountains. And I assumed he was a guide, like one of the guys who was going to take a dumbass like me up hunting. Right. So, and I'm chatting with him, and he's asking me questions about hockey. And I ask him, and he looks like he's about 20. And then I ask him like, oh, you play hockey? And he's like, oh yeah, I play hockey. And I've been talking for this guy for about a half an hour. And wheels start turning a little bit. And I ask him like, where did you play hockey? And he's like, Colorado. And I was like, you were the captain of World Juniors 2 years in a row. And he's like, he kind of did that one. And so I was like, he's Bowen Byram. So Bowen Byram was up at sheep camp with us, and little did I know he ends up winning the Stanley Cup this year. So anyways, it was a really kind of a cool experience, and just a good guy, honest, just down to earth and humble. And I spent talking for 45 minutes, and he didn't even say anything about who or what he did. So that was pretty sweet.
No, that is cool. Yeah.
And he ends up being an absolute stud on the blue line for the Abs. It was pretty cool.
No, that is. And that's the type of guy I'd want in my shed. And
and I honestly, Wally, I've stopped watching hockey, and that's kind of the reason why. And then obviously with what the Oilers were doing this year with 2-9 and 97 doing what they did this year, it was hard not to watch. So it's kind of cool seeing that young buck lift the Stanley Cup.
No, that's incredible. And that he's out
and he loves
there
hunting,
with you.
and he loves hunting too. So I love hunting, and so it's always good to have.
No, but I'd like to see a guy win the full deal. Like I know there's us that never did, right? And that's like we won the second league in Germany.
Hey, that's pretty sweet, man.
Right?
I would say it's harder. I would say it's harder. You don't have tape for your shin pads. You don't have tape for your stick, and you got to fucking perform.
You got to deal with it. You got to deal with shit. Right?
12
You got
hours
coffee
up to
cooking.
Bremerhaven, 12 hours back. Same day.
You're eating inhumane food like after games that they wouldn't serve to people in Ukraine right now. But we're eating that after hockey games.
About?
You know?
Are you crazy?
That's what we're eating.
Some of the meals I ate in Germany were some of the best meals I've ever eaten in my life.
Well, not after the games in fucking Krimichow, okay? Like whatever the fuck that was in those metal boxes. Like, I mean, just inhumane. I should call someone. I feel like I have to report this.
Yeah, I don't even remember it. So maybe I wasn't into food yet. Maybe I was
probably
still
had the
into
same-
hockey.
You had the
Wally,
same
where-
post-game
Wal-
meal I had, which was about.
I get
14
over
years
shit
fucking
quick. I
Boston
was
like
over hockey. I just want to talk about it. I like food now.
Where do you guys sit on the bus, Wally? You guys be up at the front or you guys be at the back? We were at the front, weren't we? All of us at the front there.
Whoosh.
And
Well,
Robbie, yeah.
every season was different, to be honest, wherever I played. I mean, if you're talking about that season, it's very unmemorable to me. So I don't know what to say.
Yeah, we had
But
that
for the
awesome
most
bus that
part,
year, though.
when I
the
started in
splinter.
Germany,
Yeah.
okay, when I started in Germany, I was at the front of the bus. I was like 22, 23 years old. And you know what? There was no iPads. Had a novel. I had a Nokia phone. I didn't have much other than I would sleep the whole way to the games because there wasn't much to talk about.
Yeah.
You get off, eat the fantastic meal, the bread, you know. It was
Yeah,
wonderful.
What was your
Then you
what was your
go-
first
Huh?
what was your first year overseas, Wally?
Was it in
Where'd you play?
land suit? Yeah,
Land suit?
land suit. Yeah.
Yep.
But
Nice.
no, and then like you get on the bus, there's not the same shit they got nowadays, right? Like
Was the
you
legendary
get on the
Tide-
bus, well, with a bunch of German guys and whatever that like don't. I
Shower?
had nothing to do on the bus. There'd be times I would just sleep.
Was
Right?
the legendary Ty Morris on that land shoot team?
IMO.
No, not
know.
no, but he is having a game for himself, eh? And he was just in the shed. He's
Come
having
on.
a retirement game in Germany like this week.
He deserves
he's-
it.
Yeah, he's only been there 30 years.
Yeah,
Right.
He's a good dude.
And
too.
he's the GM of the team he just finished with. And they're having
Is
a
he?
game for him. Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Why not?
Good for him. Good for him. That's awesome.
Benny, maybe you should put a game together.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Benny Thompson.
They would
fucking-
love that. The Ravensburg fans would love that.
Ooh.
Ooh,
We can.
you
I
got
think I got a slew for you fellas. We could fire one up here this winter. Find an old dugout out on the farm. That's about as close as I'm gonna get.
I haven't been on skates in like 4 years.
Oh
It'd be
man.
bad.
I'm into
It's
the
bad.
well, I'm helping out some under 9 gals right now, which is pretty
Nice.
exciting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. And the little guys in tryouts, it's pretty exciting stuff right now. I'm at the rink all
you-
the time.
Oh,
Are you running
tryouts are
tryouts?
Well, no, I'm not. No, I
Okay.
don't. No.
Okay, good deal.
Mhm.
All
We'll
right,
talk.
I gotta run. I just want to say real quick, Kincher.
Yeah. Have you been in the closet too long?
Yeah, it's getting hot. Kincher, great seeing you. I mean, Benny, obviously,
You
love
too,
you
buddy.
guys to death. Wally, thank you for putting this together. But hey, I'm dead serious that we should try to all get together next summer when I'm back. I'm usually back in July for a few weeks, and would love to see you guys.
Yeah.
How-
sure.
how,
Lev.
how big is this Alberta place? Like, jeepers.
It's
Can you
pretty big.
guys not just see each other? Like,
Well, I'm
no?
down in Houston. I live in
I'm
Texas.
just
man.
kidding.
Like, it's
You think
fucking-
I'm, yeah, I understand. You're
Yeah.
coming back, but it's weird that you guys were all from Alberta and then Benny,
Yeah.
anyways. So
Yeah.
thank you guys all for coming. I hope that I can coerce you guys into your one-on-one time with me in the shed because
Absolutely.
this has been a bit of a mess, you know.
Good.
Time. Thanks for organizing. buddy.
I think it's a fantastic mess, but you know what? You guys won that year and you deserve to have some shed time and everybody hear about it because I think it's cool when teams win shit. And you know,
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Too bad Maloney had to bail so early on us, but it's all good.
wow,
Coach Maloney. I can't wait to tell. I'll have some good stories to tell you guys next summer about when Dylan tells me about Coach Maloney.
That's right.
I guess they
that's
just
right.
got bag skated the last 2 days. Dylan's like, we didn't even see a puck. We didn't see a
Good.
puck."
and then he was like, "This is how you beat up a 17-year-old German."
Yeah, I was like, oh, good thing. How's it going, Dylan? Well, we got bag skated, didn't see a puck the whole practice.
Good.
And
Does that
this
still
has
happen?
been another episode of 37 Ales and Hockey Tales with Malone's, Kincher, Tomo, Levy, and Wally.